walked across the hallway here to get here, so Senator Girdler, if it's hard to get him to quit talking, so it's hard to. You better give him $1 so he's on retainer, is all I can tell you. I'll ask the secretary to please call the roll.
Senator Rocky Adams. Senator Alvarado.
Here.
Senator Douglas. Here. Senator Howell. Here. Senator McGarvey. Here. Senator Parrott. Here. Senator Schickel. Senator Smith. Here. Senator Storm. Here. Senator Girdler. Here. Chairman Carpenter.
Here. I'm not sure what the over and under was, how long we were going to go without having to have a committee meeting, but I think we did pretty well, honestly. And our buddy Tom Buford, who's no longer with us now, but he always said, if there's not a good reason to meet, don't meet, Jared. I promise you they'll be happy with you. So I've lived by that advice, and I think that until we have things to go over, there's not a sense to push it through. So appreciate everybody being here. We have Dr. Douglas now. I think he's our newest member. We appreciate having him, and I'll introduce him again when he comes back in. But I think we're going to start off with Senate Bill 140. Senator Wise, if you want to come to the table, and if you have any guests that you're having with you, or if you're solo, we're glad to have you in front of the committee.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. It's an honor. This is the first time I've ever been before your committee. So
it's tough now. We're really hard on you.
Well, I was going to say, you've got a nice cast of characters up here in front of me.
Sure.
So. Mr. Chairman, I do have a guest online. If he would just go ahead and identify himself for the record, please, in case he does make some comments later for questions.
Thank you, Senator Wise. My name is Brian Henderson with the Coalition of State Rheumatology Organizations, representing the Kentuckians for Step Therapy Reform Coalition.
Thank you. Appreciate you being here.
Mr. Chairman, there is a committee sub if you want to move for adoption on that.
Sure. I think all the members have that in their file. Do I have a motion on the committee sub? All those in favor? Do we have to do a voice vote on that? Yeah. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? It's adopted.
Perfect. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, today I bring forth Senate Bill 140, which will modernize the Commonwealth existing step therapy law that was originally passed in these chambers in 2012. And in the wake of evolving clinical and insurance practices, this bill basically makes common sense updates that will ensure our existing laws continue to serve Kentuckians so that they can access their medications prescribed by their doctor without delay. I've reached out and worked with stakeholders across the entire healthcare system, and this legislation is supported by a robust coalition representing Kentucky patients and also our healthcare providers. And I want to thank all those stakeholders that worked with me that have also came to support the bill. Step therapy, if you do not know, if you weren't here in 2012, was a utilization management tool that's commonly used by health insurers to control the order in which a patient takes certain therapies approved for a given condition. Step therapy is applied to drugs treating a wide variety of diseases and chronic conditions, which could be but not limited to autoimmune diseases, diabetes, epilepsy, glaucoma, hemophilia, mental health, multiple sclerosis, and medications to treat pain. Under step therapy, a patient may be required to try one or more alternative prescription drugs chosen by their insurer before coverage is granted for the drug prescribed by that patient's healthcare provider. The bill will provide comprehensive guardrails for healthcare providers and their patients to be able to request an exception to a step therapy protocol when it is clinically recommended. The updates to the existing step therapy law were included in this bill provide additional circumstances when a healthcare provider and patient can request a step therapy exception, including when the required step therapy drug could worsen a comorbidity condition, create an additional barrier to adherence or compliance for the patient, decrease the patient's ability to maintain their daily functional activity, or when a patient is stable and doing well on a medication, that they can then continue their treatment plan even with the change to health plans. Lastly, Mr. Chairman, since 2012, when Kentucky was one of the first states to enact legislation to reform the practice of step therapy, more than 24 states have now passed comprehensive step therapy laws. And our current step therapy law is a great first step, and Senate Bill 140 will bring the important updates needed to ensure the use of step therapy continues to work for patients and healthcare providers. And the bill is not a mandate. The bill does not make any changes to Kentucky's generic substitution laws. The bill does not also remove any ability of the plans to use step therapy for controlling cost. And lastly, nothing in the bill mandates that health plans cover a penny more than it would without this piece of legislation. Senator Carper, Mr. Chairman, that's a brief overview of the bill. I'm happy to answer any questions, or if my guest also needs to answer any questions as well.
Well, I've had several folks come to me and come to the office to have discussions. Several of the folks that are in this room, and so I appreciate you bringing everybody together to make sure that we could get something that was, satisfactory to everybody. If everybody's always happy, it may not be a good bill. So I think this is a good compromise because folks come to me and had issues and want concerns. So I appreciate you working with them. Have a motion on the bill. Has a second. Good salesmen always say when it's time to close, right? Call them. Secretary, please call the roll.
Senator Rocky Adams, Senator Alvarado, Senator Douglas, Senator Girdler, Senator Howell, Senator McGarvey, Senator Parrott, Senator Schickel, Senator Smith, Senator Storm,
Aye.
Chairman Carpenter.
Aye. The bill passes with favorable expression.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee.
Appreciate you very much. Our next bill is just a simple Senate resolution. My guest, John Cooper, is here from the Kentucky Bankers Association. This is an issue that we had brought before us basically from the federal government as we saw issues coming down from the banking industry. Me being a former banker and all of us dealing with banks and our constituents were super concerned about this issue. So in one of our interim committee meetings, we made a decision to do a resolution. And if John, if you'll introduce yourself for the record and you can kind of give a brief understanding of why we're doing this.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee.
Hit your microphone, John.
Sorry.
That's
Yes,
all right.
sir.
It's your
Mr.
first
Chairman-
time, I know.
Yeah, I know. Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, thank you for allowing me to appear before you today. This issue originally came up when there was a proposal by the IRS to track every bit of inflow and outflow of $600 in cash or more of everybody's accounts. There was such a backlash from both Republicans and Democrats that they kicked that out of the bill and initially proposed a $10,000 threshold, and that too was dismissed out of the bill. But what worries us is that there was $80 billion left in the bill to hire up to 87,000 IRS agents, and it wasn't only $2 billion of that was allowed for taxpayer assistance. That means the rest of it goes for enforcement, and so we're worried that they would come in the back door. One of the things I want to make sure you understand is that under the Bank Secrecy Act, which was part of the Patriot Act, $10,001 in cash today clicks that trips that wire and has to be tracked, and there have to be reports filled out on it. What this does is it urges Congress not to pass intrusive legislation on people's individual rights as holding a bank account.
Yeah, I think I appreciate that, and I think everybody heard from constituents and people throughout that district, as well as banks.
Yes.
Banks were super concerned with the cost that this would enforce on them to try to regulate such an issue.
And the small customer may just give up on the bank altogether and keep the money at home.
Right.
That was a concern we had.
Senator Smith.
Yeah, just a quick comment. It's not just the banks as well. If you look at what they're doing, that a lot of people use PayPal or other Venmo for things as simple as mothers with trading groups that trade clothes, or maybe they'll do
correct.
something small on the side hustle, if you will. But under the new laws, anything over $600, people don't realize, is now going to be tracked. So even though you're maybe have a side deal where you're simply selling used clothes to some girls in your girl group, you're now going to get hit with that, which I'm not sure a lot of people realize. But I think that the overreach of what we've just seen coming out of D.C. may be far the worst that we've ever seen, intruding into people's private lives and what they do. And they're going to continue to drive people on into the cloud where transactions are not, you can't see them. So you're going to see groups outside of PayPal or Venmo or the banks that are literally going to be necessary because of the federal overregulation of what we're seeing.
That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Anybody else have a question or comment? Ask the Secretary, please call the roll. Oh, I'm sorry. We need a motion and a second on the bill. Got a motion, Senator Girdler, and a second from Senator Smith. Ask the Secretary, please call the roll.
Senator Rocky Adams, Senator Alvarado,
Well, if y'all wouldn't talk the whole time.
Senator Douglas, Senator Girdler, Senator Howell, Senator McGarvey, Senator Parrott, Senator Schickel, Senator Smith, Senator Storm,
Aye.
Chairman Carpenter.
Aye. Senator Adams, would you like to cast your vote now at this time if it's convenient for you? You're okay? Okay. It does pass. John, we appreciate you coming
Thank you,
before
Mr.
the
Chairman,
committee.
members of the committee, for your time.
Appreciate that very much. That was a quick committee. Now, but we will have some more in the near future, so just be prepared. Oh, two things I want to introduce here, or invite the members of the committee to. The Kentucky insurance industry always has a nice event for us at the Foundry on Broadway. That's Tuesday, February the 22nd. 6 and dinner starts at 7. It's always a nice event, and people from the industry come to get to talk with us about issues that are related to that business and what we do here in the committee. So we appreciate that, and I hope you all can attend. And we also have an intern. Abigail Jewell is a third-year student at the University of Kentucky and is interning in both Judiciary and the Banking Committee in both the House and the Senate. So I'm not sure. Yeah, there she is. Good. We appreciate you being here, and we need all the help we can get in this committee. These ladies here have to have a tough job keeping us all in line. So you're going to pass now on the resolution. Okay. We'll make that note. We appreciate it very much. I have a motion for adjournment. We're adjourned.